Both these guys are extremely sharp about the future. They know what's happening. I don't see that with too many others. Some of the young people, yes, but all the older guard in Bollywood don't know what's coming. So, and like a big tsunami of change is going to come over the next 5 to 10 years.
What it takes to become a name to reckon with. I mean, celebrity is a very light word, but there are people who are of serious consequence to the world, for things more serious, for things less serious. But your take on that?
I have so much to say about this.
But yeah, let's hear at least, your basic thoughts on this. Love to hear it.
The absolute top people: Priyanka Chopra, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I've met some cricketers, say Saurav Ganguly, okay, Shikhar Dhawan. These guys, in their core, they're extremely humble and they're extremely sharp. You can't just be humble. Like, you got to be sharp enough to pick up bad energy or, wrong intent from the 1,000 people who come up to you because you're famous. And I feel it's all the second layer of celebrity. They're the ones figuring things out. So that's why you'll always sense the arrogance. But the top layer is extremely humble, but also very sharp. I think that's how they've been able to maintain their fame that long. I also feel just the definition of celebrity is changing very heavily now. And it's not just the digital stars. It's not people like, all my YouTubing friends. I do believe like intellectuals, soldiers, scientists, all these people are also going to be celebrated from now onwards. Because if you study where AI is at and where ChatGPT is at, then in the next 4 to 5 years, we're going to see movies created by these bots. That's going to change the movie business. That's going to change the television business. Like, anyone who's an artist in today's day and age, they're not going to have the same version of their job that they have right now. I know this has gone like to another direction.
No, but it's interesting. Go ahead.
So I think not everyone in Bollywood. I have like some friends in I think the two people I could call friends to a certain degree are Ayan Mukherjee and John Abraham, and both these guys are extremely sharp about the future. They know what's happening. I don't see that with too many others. Some of the young people, yes, but all the older guard in Bollywood don't know what's coming. So and like a big tsunami of change is going to come over the next 5 to 10 years.
So another question. Initially, at least when I was growing up, you tended to do what was good for you, what was in your DNA. If you were built to be an engineer or a doctor or a pilot or whatever else floated your boat, right? There is an accusation at the moment around influencers that says they're really trying to be who they are not. So they're focusing more on opportunity-based, plans or strategy rather than, who they are and how can they best monetize it.
Yeah, it's true. But this system works only for a year. So for a year, you like surge ahead based on trends, based on what's hot. And then a year later, people get to know your truth. The audiences get to know your truth. The audiences only follow you if you're consistently putting out a significantly large amount of content, because there's that much competition that you can be forgotten like very easily. Audiences pick up on authenticity and fakeness very easily, especially Indian audiences, especially Gen Z Indian audiences. So there is no room after a certain point to be fake.
So then there's no point to be fake, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if it's just going to...
okay. I think you need gimmicks to stand out initially because there's that much competition. For example, I took up the name beerbiceps because it was a memorable name.
Right.
Then just stuck around. Like, do you know what Paul Levesque is?
Yes.
It's Triple H.
Yeah.
Most people don't know who Paul Levesque is. Everyone knows Triple H.
Yeah.
The gimmick worked. I feel maybe to a certain Yashraj Mukherjee, the guy who makes the reels, the music. Have you heard?
No.
You would have definitely seen his stuff. He takes a clipping from Bigg Boss and turns it into a song.
Yes.
So, but now he's shifting into like other formats of content. So you've got to use gimmicks to pole vault into like a higher. Basically, you need to get numbers through gimmicks, and then after a point, you have to be yourself.
Okay. But it pays to be in touch with yourself, right?
There's two formats of content that are working extremely well for the last year, and I anticipate that for the next 2-3 years it's going to like blow up. One's extremely short, one's extremely long. So this is one because it's extremely real. It's like a real human interaction. And on the other end of the spectrum, you've got bubblegum content, which is in 15 or 30 seconds can you make another human being feel something?
Right.
You can make people laugh in 15 to 30 seconds. What else can you do? So people who crack that game will survive and people who crack this game will survive. And both are not easy games because of the quantity of competition.
Oh, well said. Yeah. Well said. So uniqueness comes out. You might have to be gimmicky in a nice way.
Yeah.
To kind of grab attention and, get your initial kind of community around you.
Yeah.
And then the true self kind of emerges. And that has to stay interesting and continue to stay pertinent.
Yeah.
Which is pretty obvious,
It's a very stupid comparison, but growing up, I was a big wrestling fan. There's so many parallels with the world of wrestling and reinvention and gimmicks when you compare it to like the world of influencers. People get bored of the same gimmicks. People get bored of the same storylines, the same characters. A lot of freshness that's required. And currently, we're in the age of edginess because people have been so careful about what they've said for so long out of the fear of being cancelled. The world is waking up away from wokeness and sensitivity into, listen, throw me some offensive humor, throw me some real conversation. So I think we're actually entering a nice phase of content where shit's gonna get real. That's my big hope.
Man, I'm sitting really comfortably in that last sentence of yours.